So in this devlog, I'm going to talk about a lot of the things I've been doing in the past month. The game is really starting to shape up. Some of the work done has been on the save game system, the event system, abilities, the interface, updates. There's been quite a bit going on in the past month. It's been about 7 months of developing this game now, and I feel it's come quite a ways in that 7 months. One of the cool things I have going on is I have this omnibar type thing in the center bottom of the screen. If I hit a key here, I can bring up my progress bar for the level. And by default, it will be hidden. Anytime you make progress through the level, this bar will come up and there will be icons filling in as you progress and work towards completing the level. To save on real estate and keep things as clean as possible, I am also using the same space for my for casting bars and timer bars. So and they will take priority over the progress bar whenever there's something casting or counting down. Another thing I have going on is on the left corner are most of the indicators for your abilities. I do have a small cast time for what I call the dart ability, which is the second icon. So if I press the key once, I will go somewhat quicker. And then if I press and hold the key, you get to a second tier of it. And there is a small cast bar that is vertical there. And I tuned the camera movement with that dart ability so that it zooms out a little smoother. I think it's looking pretty good for now. I've also added the ability to unlock abilities, and that's what this little blueprint function does here. Basically, what it's doing is applies an effect to the character. The effect applies a gameplay tag to the character. The gameplay tag allows an ability to be used. And then I also unlock the ability in the user interface. And how that works is any situation I want to unlock a new ability, I can call this function. And to control which ability is unlocked, I set it all up with a data asset. So this is my primary data asset. And then when I want to set one up to unlock a new ability, I would set it up like this, creating a new data asset, filling in all of the information, and I feed that into the unlockability function, and it just works. Right now, I still need to implement what's going to unlock these abilities, whether it be certain objectives being met or finding them or making it to a specific point in the story. So temporarily, I am just on the begin play. I'm unlocking them automatically, but this will all get changed and put into its correct place to have some proper progression. So to give an idea of how this looks right now, there will be a couple second delay, and then the abilities will unlock one at a time in the bottom left. And that's pretty exciting because now it's very minimal work for me to add progression for these abilities and just to tie them into an objective. Also with the abilities, I've added it checks cost. So the Wisp ability on the far left right now is set to require 5 essence to be used, and I will just collect 5 of those real quick. So now after acquiring this 5th one, it should become available to use, and it does. Now I will use the ability. After the cooldown is completed, it should remain grayed out because I still do not meet the cost for the ability. So I have cost requirements working. All these little things just make things feel better. It makes it feel more like a game. Another big system is the event system. The event system in itself could be a whole video on how that was set up, but I feel going too much in depth would just rather be a little boring, so I'm not going to get too into it. I will show one of the events and kind of break it down. These events are still a big work in progress, but I'm roughing them in, trying to get the primary story and all the little interactions in place. So here this vision starts rather normally with a cinematic. You can see a few more interface elements here. I have an arrow above the player character pointing me in the direction to go to meet the objective. I have a task in a list on the top right, and I have a countdown timer in the bottom. Once I've met the objective, now there's another cutscene. What makes that an event in my mind is that there are several different tasks the player must perform. There are several cutscenes and varying types of objectives, and it's more of an experience that the player is going through rather than just watching a cinematic or interacting with a one-off objective. And after interacting with that item, I now have an icon letting me know I've acquired it for my character in the bottom right. I've made progress, and you'll see the progress bar displays and then hides again. So all the little interface elements are coming together quite nicely and functioning. Of course, the visuals will be enhanced in the future. All of the little graphics are still temporary. And getting all that whole event system working has been fairly challenging and has taken me the most time this month. And all these little interface elements are a result of fleshing out this event system and kind of building to my needs. So I really feel that's coming along quite nicely, and I'm actually going back to another event which I've shown off in a previous video, and I'm kind of redoing it from the ground up with a new idea, redesigning it, and hopefully that'll turn out pretty well. One of the last big features I've added in the past month was the save game feature. It was getting far enough along to the point where I really needed to think about it sooner than later. You really need to have a save game system in place from the get-go so that it's not a last-minute decision and you're building the game around it, kind of in conjunction with saving, and so everything will work properly. So how my save game system works is I am actually using an interface. So this is my save game interface, and I only have two functions in this interface. I want to get a save state and load a save state. Basically, how it works is any actor I want to save, I simply add that interface to it. For example, here is my artifact blueprint. It has the save game interface. So this function is called from the game mode, which handles the saving of the game, and it's filling out an array with actors and populating the array with this information for each actor. It's the entity is the actual actor, the location of it. In this case, artifacts can spawn in different locations, so I need to get the location for it. And then is it discovered means has the player found it, and completed means has the player solved, completed, or interacted with the actor. So in this case, an artifact only has one option. If you complete it, you've also discovered it. So I could just leave the discovered one blank in this case. However, there are other actors such as puzzles, challenges, and even the visions, which you will have discovered them, but you may not have successfully completed them. So all this information is being sent into an array in the game mode, and then that gets serialized into the save game slot. And then upon loading a saved game, the game mode will cycle through the entities in its array and call the load save state function for each of the entities. It'll grab the data from the save game slot, and then each actor will process it how it needs to. So in this case, the artifact will get set to the proper location, and if it's been completed, it then reveals whatever vision it would reveal, because that's what the artifacts are there for. When you interact with them, they reveal a vision. This is the game mode, and this is all of the events for saving the game. Some of these could be turned into functions if I want to clean it up a little bit. When I want to save the entities, I'm getting all the actors with the interface, which right now the performance isn't too bad doing it this way because there aren't that many actors with the save game interface. It loops through them all. It messages for that get save state. It adds all the data into the array, and then that array is getting set in the game save object, which is then what gets serialized to the game save slot. So that's an overview of the save game system. So between the save game system, the event system, abilities, the interface, updates, there's been quite a bit going on in the past month. Really, at this point, I'm looking to get the content into the game and focus on visuals, optimization, and content. And hopefully, in the next several months or so, this level will be fleshed out and completable, working towards having a demo or vertical slice of the game pretty much done. Still a lot of work to do, but it's coming along nicely. So I think that will be it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.